Kyotaro is a virgin and creepy emo boy who thinks he's Jeffrey Dahmer because he fantasizes that one day he can terminate everyone in his class, especially the most popular girl, but somehow he got raised up instead. Kyotaro is a massive loner and usually hangs out in the library, but on a particular day he witnesses how Anna swallows a rice ball like the starved goblin she is. Then she starts talking like a dying elephant, which genuinely shocks him. He can't believe his victim is a massive idiot because when he spies on her, she consumes a bag of chips enough to feed 4 people. He has no choice but to start reading his book to determine Anna's idiot power level, but he's immediately distracted when she starts doing their homework. After she finishes doodling, she realizes her problem. She didn't bring a box cutter. Luckily, Kyotaro is walking Ace Hardware as he instinctively pulls out one. However, Anna is such a dumb that he is forced to give it to her. When she thanks him for lending his cutter, he loses all of his edginess, and then she steals his box cutter and leaves the library. Before leaving, however, she gives him the bag of chips without the chips for him to hug it real tight. The next day, he enters the classroom and finds his cutter on his desk, thinking that Anna probably held it until she could return it. Later that day, one of the girls in Anna's group redid their homework because there's a turd stain on the poster and Kyotaro thinks she's trying to get rid of Anna because she's prettier than her. During the presentation, he notices that Anna looks lifeless and thinks she's having some hot girl problems. So when he and his group finishes their presentation, he cuts their presentation in half like a madman, so that no one will see that Anna is crying. That afternoon, Sho and the boys start talking about how Anna and the girls being so close together means they have plot in their minds, fantasizing about Anna's Mount Fuji all day long. This irks him, so he goes back to the library and sees that Anna's already there. Hara arrives a few seconds later and talks to Anna for a bit. Kenta also arrives to confess to Hara, but Anna is so dense she only realizes it when Kyotaro accidentally drops a book, causing everyone to be suspicious. Anna knows he's in there, so she signals him to start acting like a cat. But it's so bad at it that she goes behind the bookshelves to show him how it's done. On the way home, Kyotaro notices a magazine store and is about to buy one when Anna arrives all dressed up, so he hides as soon as he sees her. While observing her, he notices how weirdly she acts around people who are trying to buy a magazine and even tries to act like they're gonna ask for her signatures. But after receiving nothing, she leaves and Kyotaro buys a magazine for himself. When he arrives home, he immediately opens the magazine and finds Anna's feature page, realizing how completely different she is compared to the schoolgirl Anna everybody knows. But after realizing their difference, he throws the magazine away. He knows how vastly different he and Anna's worlds are, and he knows how much he has fallen ever since he failed the admission test he always wanted to pass, so there's no reason for him to care about people or Anna in particular. The next day, on the way to school, he sees Anna getting hit on by a popular guy, Nanjo. He overhears their conversation, and it seems like Nanjo is trying so hard to get his number. When he tries to stop Anna from leaving their conversation, Kyotaro uses his bike to interrupt them, sending it flying, shocking both of them. Chihiro, Anna's best friend, meets up with her and tells her what he did. And when Anna asks him why he sent his bike flying, he just tells them he hits the gas instead of the brakes. Kyotaro's psychopathic ruse manages to make her laugh, which in turn makes him blush. A couple of days after that incident, he returns to the library and once again, Anna is there, enjoying yet another snack. But there's a problem. She needs water to make that snack actually edible. So she runs off to fill that tiny plastic holder, but she's got a few loose screws, and it's already halfway empty when she arrives back at the library. Kyotaro realizes she's making a mess and starts cleaning the room himself. Anna sees him cleaning, but she's out of time, so she goes back to the faucet to get more water. Kyotaro knows how much of a moron she is, so he sprints to the economics room to help her out. But when he arrives to give her the cup, she's already mixing the snack, so he awkwardly drinks some water to save face. Once again, Anna gives him the leftovers for him to throw into the nearest garbage bin before leaving him. In the classroom, he starts plotting again on how to murder Anna, but he starts being delusional, thinking that she's actually caught up to his plans and is toying with him. But in reality, she's just hot because it's summer, and the boys behind him started doing some cultural podcast. Sho goes to the girl to creep them out, but Kyotaro shows him who's the real creep, stopping him from going after Anna. Later, he goes back to the library and once again, Anna is there eating a truckload of snacks. When she sees his fan, she asks if she can borrow it, and like the dog he is, Kyotaro gives it to her without a second thought. When she uses the fan, she notices how good it smells, but he argues that it is not. So she sniffs once more and just agrees with her because he's getting the good sweaty view. When Anna receives a call, she hides underneath the table and asks Kyotaro to sit on the chair. Chihiro arrives soon after looking for her, but he covers for Anna before offering Chihiro the snacks. But she declines and tells him about how Anna looks out for her because of her allergy to snacks. Apparently, Anna eats snacks in secret because she's trying to protect her, which is why they're best friends. When she starts showering her with praises, Anna appears out of the table and pops as if it wasn't very sus of her. After this, Kyotaro immediately goes to the toilet to unleash the raging monster behind his high school pants. A week later, the annual cultural festival has started and their class is doing a horror-themed exhibit. As usual, he is useless, but Anna goes up to him and asks him if he can help with their class poster, which he didn't even refuse. When he sits with Hara, his monkey brain neurons activate seeing Hara's double-barrel honkers, but Anna appears out of nowhere and scares the living crap out of him. But after they finish making the poster, Anna notices that someone has written her surname on the gravestones. Kyotaro thinks Hara has beef with Anna, but Sho grabs his shirt and starts threatening him, so he has no choice but to admit it was him. Fortunately, Hara arrives before he gets absolutely destroyed for no reason. Apparently, she was just writing common surnames and Yamada is one of them, so she tells everyone she'll erase them. Kyotaro helps and teaches her how to paint properly, and surprisingly, Anna goes up to him to apologize. But he literally has no clue why she's apologizing to him. He starts thinking of a reason for it when she suddenly appears once again and asks him to do her makeup. He's so flabbergasted that he only did one dip before dipping away from her. Later that day, he sees Anna's group getting dragged by Nanjo's group, so he follows them like the stalker he is. When he tries to tail them, he makes a shortcut to one room and Anna walks up to him and asks him about the other class's exhibit before dragging him. Inside, a large map of their old town is laid out cleanly on the floor. She then starts telling him about the snack shops in their town and asks for the house address, which is a couple of blocks away from her. When he pulls out his phone to take a picture of the map, Anna takes it away to take a selfie with him instead. The next day, he experiences a mild headache and has to stay in the school infirmary. There he notices Anna's shoes, and when the doctor's robe accidentally reveals the curtain between them, Anna is lying there, sleeping innocently. He stares intently, and Anna wakes up and realizes it's him. She tells him she's relieved to know she's not lying next to a Valorant player, causing Kyotaro's blood pressure to rise in his head down below. She asks what's wrong with him, and he tells him it's a headache, so she gives her a pill that will help him. But just when he's about to drink the pill, he realizes that she used the same cup he's about to use, which is pretty much an indirect kiss. So he stops doing that and proceeds to go back to his bed. But he realizes that Anna took his uniform instead of her own, so the school doctor tells him to bring it back to her later. He keeps telling himself he's been forced to do it, but he actually enjoys it, sniffing the uniform like the average vape addict. When he's about to return her uniform, she zooms past him, not even noticing it's her uniform he's holding. Sho starts doing his culture talk again and tries to guess if the girls are using their hands or using Woody to get off, so he tries to eavesdrop again. But Sho gives him a note and asks him to pass it to Anna. But instead of passing the note, he gives Anna the doodle he's been working on earlier this morning. Then Sho starts his usual podcast to know what positions the girls prefer. Curious about Anna's preference, he starts to watch the girls, but the girls catch what they're onto, so they stop. Later that day, he's still wondering what Anna's preferred workout position, and when she arrives, she immediately goes after his hand, thinking he stole one of her chips. That's when Kyotaro realizes that Anna likes it rough, taking control from the top. The next day, PE class starts, and while watching Kyotaro, Anna gets hit by a Kuroko pass straight to the nose. The PE teacher sends her to the infirmary, so Kyotaro follows her, sneaking beneath the bed and watching her cry because tomorrow is going to be a photo shoot. She can't help but apologize because she knows it's a big day, and she's making it hard for everyone. Hearing this, he also cries because he knows how much she's looking forward to it. When she gets a tissue, she accidentally drops an ID holder with his drawing in it. All the small memories of their interaction flash in his mind, and that's when he realizes he actually likes Anna. The next day, she shows up at school and apologizes to her friends for making them worried. Later that day, he sees Anna removing the note that Chihiro wrote and notices that she ran out of wet tissues, so he sets up all of his wet tissue supplies inside the library for her to use. But as usual, Anna just uses it to clean her hands of chip residues. But at the end of the day, she's back to her usual self and is now happier thanks to him. The next day, he agonizes about the meaning of liking someone, because he believes it's just something that drives people's lives to ruin. While eating lunch, he notices the girl who accidentally hit Anna with the ball yesterday. But all of that dissolves to nothing when he sees Anna eating another snack at the library. However, he can't keep still because what she's doing can be a real mess, real quick, so he awkwardly intervenes and suggests they take it to the next level. But Anna tells him to fetch it for her, and he didn't even hesitate as he immediately bolts out of the room. She then follows him and tells him it's a joke, suggesting they go together. Once inside, they start cooking like Walter and Jesse, with Anna taking his hand and dipping it into the pink Coke they just made. She then drinks the entire thing, but a teacher catches them in the act, startling her and causing her to choke. After that incident, Kyotaro notices Rin fidgeting around Anna, hoping to talk to her, but she fails at catching her alone and Anna runs off with Chihiro. Serena asks her if she apologizes to Anna yet, but the girl tells her she's changed because of Anna, which is a drama that Kyotaro doesn't want to be involved in. But when he stays in the library with Anna, he notices that Rin is also at the library, hoping to talk to her once more. Realizing that they need some time alone, Kyotaro decides to leave the library, but Anna stops him and asks him to face swap with her. But he declines and immediately heads for the door. Serena pulls him and tells him to be quiet, while she's observing whether Rin will apologize to Anna or not. Anna initiates the conversation and asks her if she wants to face swap with her, and Rin pretends she didn't notice the towering creature that Anna is. She apologizes for that insane Ignite pass, but Anna doesn't even know it was her, offering her candies to make up. With all things resolved, Kyotaro can't help but realize how people care so much about Anna, especially because she's a model and all. But when he stops at the convenience store, Anna immediately recognizes him and happily walks toward him, commenting on his brand new bike. She then asks him if he can give her a ride back home, which surprises him because he's not prepared for this victory royale so early in the game. Once Anna rides his bike, she asks him if he's in any club before telling him that she's going to quit the basketball club, especially after what happened. She thinks she'll just join his club, which makes his ears blush red and his heart rate shoots through the roof. For the first time, they're actually conversing, but he starts panicking when he realizes they're in front of the police station. He thinks the police will detain both of them for riding a single bicycle, and it will be a downward spiral to hell. But he snaps back to reality when Anna talks to him. Once they arrive at the station, she thanks him and gives him the same snack drink she's been sucking dry throughout the ride. Before leaving, Anna bids him goodbye and he responds with the classic German salute. A few days later, he and his sister, Kanna, visit McDonald's to eat. But this is really the worst time to be around family because he'd rather die than be seen with his sister. Anna arrives with her friends and his sister can't keep his mouth shut, teasing him about his height. So he leaves the table to order some food for himself and Anna follows him, interviewing him about his sister. She reveals that she's jealous of him because she's just an only child and having a sister would have been really fun. After taking a look at the menu, she says she wants an ice cream, but she forgets to bring her wallet. So Kyotaro ordered his food and her ice cream, but she didn't even take the ice cream. The next day, he accompanies her to the faculty office because she feels scared going alone. The teacher scolds her about bringing snacks, but Kyotaro channels his inner phoenix right and argues like Saul Goodman, stating that his client is just a moron and never admitted to anything she's accused of. And the teacher is proud of him for talking too much, because he's always been the silent type. On the way to the room, she thanks him and lets him choose a candy as a reward, before telling him that he can call her by her first name. The next day, their class is divided into groups because of their extracurricular activities. Kyotaro wants to visit morgues, crime scenes, and drug cartel dens, but the teacher tells them to group up, and because they're leaving in tomorrow. Anna's group lacks 2 people in their team, so Sho asks him to join their group, because they're going to split up. Kenta and the fat dude go for the other team, while he lies his way to get into Anna's group of massive idiots. She later goes up to him and tells him she knows he's lying because it's very obvious how smart he is. Later that day, Hora goes to the library to talk with Anna. As usual, Kotaro's behind the shelves again reading Goodnight Pun Pun. While the girls were talking, he overhears that Hora and Kenta are actually dating now, so Hara wants to know about Anna's love life. This interests Kyotaro, because she admits to Hara that she's single and not dating anyone. He's extremely relieved to know that he has no ops or 7 evil exes to fight. When she takes his selfie with Hara, she notices his presence.
Wait a minute! Who are you?
And confronts him. But Hara thinks it's alright that he knows because no one would actually believe him anyway.
Emotional damage!
The rain starts pouring after school, but Kyotaro comes prepared with a raincoat. But before he can leave, he sees Anna, who asks him to let her wear his raincoat. She tells him she's going to buy an umbrella and will give it back to him later. When she leaves, he checks her backpack because he realizes she might have forgotten her wallet and card. Unsurprisingly, she did. So he tries to catch up to her in the middle of the rain, telling her he tried to keep his bag dry, and Anna responds by keeping him dry. She then tells him to put it inside her, the wallet that she had forgotten to bring. When he sifts through stuff, he notices that she has an umbrella all along, but he awkwardly complies and starts unbuttoning the raincoat before giving her wallet back. Later, he opens up the umbrella, and it's actually not broken like she told him earlier. A few minutes later, Anna comes back with a new umbrella and some snacks, giving him an ice cream as a reward. That's when he realizes he really likes her, and she indirectly makes his heart race like Lightning McQueen. The next day, he and Anna's group visit Mappa HQ to strangle the CEO and free the animators. Sho tries to ask Anna about her manga preferences, but she just shuts him down. When they inevitably split up, one of the manga artists shows them a raw Baki still. Anna notices this enthusiasm popping out of him and asks him if he's going to take a look. When he tells her he will, she drags him and tells everyone to make room for the short king who loves Baki, which makes him spill his real personality. After their short tour, some guy enters the elevator, forcing everyone to stay really close, with Anna's Twin Peaks activating his Sharingan. So he closes his eyes and gains Emperor Heiki, heightening his senses and perception. After that elevator scene, he tells them he's going to the bathroom for a quick release. But it seems like no one heard him, so when he leaves the bathroom, there's no one there except for Anna. Apparently, Anna heard him, but she forgot to tell everyone and now they're rushing back to catch the train. But they're too late and now they'll have to wait an excruciatingly slow train that will come in 7 minutes. Seeing that everyone left them, Anna breaks down and apologizes to him for what happened, which is a good thing for Kyotaro. However, upon seeing her cry, he tries to calm her down by offering her Asian girl elixir, the milk tea, before telling her it's his fault that they're left behind. Anna thinks it's funny if he announces his bathroom break like that, but the train arrives and he tries to leave for another spot. She stops him, telling him that they'll be split up again if he does that. He tells him their group is so lucky to have fun without them, but he's happy he's with her. And unsurprisingly, Anna tells her the same thing, even mentioning how Hara and Kenta's relationship is pretty crazy because they're from the same class. But she thinks it's more fun to keep things a secret, implying theirs will be given enough time. After their tour, Kyotaro tells his family about what happened, and Kana mentions how he's already told them the same thing yesterday, mentioning how he might have been enjoying school a little more than he likes to admit. On way to school, he admits that he actually enjoys school, but he doesn't have any friends except for Anna. At the school gate, Anna stands like a school guard greeting her friends, waiting for someone. When he tries to enter the school, she stops and greets him, following him to the bike parking. Just like she promised yesterday, she lets him borrow 3 volumes of the romantic comedy manga she's been reading, before telling him she won't be around because of work. So also insists on him reading the story, even spoiling him about what happened. Later that day, she pops into the library to check him out, forcing him to read the manga she lent him. But he tries to fight back, which allows him to have a taste of heaven.
Yeah, boy.
Both of them apologize to each other, but Anna has to run back early. So before she leaves, he asks her if she's going to be at school tomorrow. Anna smiles and tells him she'll be there, no matter what. Later that night, he starts reading the manga and starts wondering how Anna reads it. A couple of snack bits fall on his hoodie, and he concludes that's how she does it. The next day, Sho notices how close he and Anna are, so he starts bugging him off, asking questions about when he became so close to her. Kyotaro thinks he's gonna beat him up, but Sho just wants to know whether she likes anyone or if she even has a boyfriend. Apparently, he's starting to like Anna because the post-nut clarity hits different now, and he can no longer think of her like that. He tells Kyotaro that if he really likes a girl, his no-nut November extends to forever. But hearing this makes Kyotaro think that whatever he's feeling for Anna isn't love, because he never gets off to her image or anything degenerate like that. Sho then starts describing what he likes about her, which irritates him even further. He thinks no one should do that to her, but when he goes back to his chair and notices Anna's curves, Sho winks at him, telling him, "I told you so." When he goes back to the library, he sees a worried Anna looking at the sign, telling them not to eat anything inside. So Anna starts wondering why the school would bother putting a sign like this if it's obvious they shouldn't be eating there in the first place. The joke goes over his head, but the fact still remains that someone probably knows she's doing a mukbang every single day. So there's a snitch on the loose, and she wants to find out who ratted her out. But when they arrive at the faculty room, the library teacher tells them that she found a candy wrapper lying around, so they have to put a sign to prevent people from doing the same. So Kyotaro starts wondering whether it's going to be their last time together at the library, especially because of the sign. But Anna shatters his delusion with a box of chocolates, telling him that she's done worse, and not even a sign can stop the snacking menace that she is. But the library teacher appears, almost catching her in the act, so he grabs her hand to hide the chocolate she's about to eat, which the teacher finds too cute, so she hurriedly leaves. He then apologizes to her for crushing her chocolates, and Anna tells her to go away for a bit, so he leaves. The next day, when he returns to the library, he sees her reading something, but some things don't ever change for her. During the weekend, he looks up her name and finds out that aside from her modeling career, she's also a primetime show actress. But when he tries to watch her show, it's already over. The next day, their PE classes start, and it's a marathon run. Just like Hara, this isn't his favorite sport, but Anna quickly catches up to him, so he starts running like crazy. But her legs are longer than the entire track, so she quickly catches up to him, dragging him. But he tells her to leave him alone because people will be glazing all over them. As he tries to run further away from her, Anna removes her PE uniform and unleashes the oldest trick in the book twice.
Oh my God! Wow!
When the exercise is over, Anna holds out her hand, asking him to pull her up before joining Hara, leaving Kyotaro flabbergasted by their interaction. After this, he starts going to Reddit, but he knows that people there haven't actually encountered women in real life. He soon realizes that he accidentally swapped uniforms with Anna. Coincidentally, the girls are talking about swapping uniforms with their boyfriends, which is bad. Because if they find out that she swapped out clothes with him, she'll be ostracized by society. So the entire time, he didn't wear their uniform to avoid suspicion. But when the teacher calls Sho to answer the board, he knows that he's the last guy he wants to notice that Anna is wearing his uniform. So he volunteers to answer the math question, which he spectacularly fails to answer, because he's so engrossed with keeping everyone's eye off of Anna. After their lunch, Anna asks him to go with her to the infirmary, where she finally returns his uniform. She sniffs it one last time before giving it back. She then drags him to the height measuring scale, giving him the best view most of you could ever dream of, which causes him to melt. She then asks him to measure her next, which reveals that she's almost 7 feet tall. The next day, everybody's going nuts because they've just heard the news about Anna's casting for an upcoming movie. Even her friends are going crazy because the lead actors in the film are quite popular, but he's the only one who seems to notice how excited Anna is from the way she looks. Then the teacher arrives to tell them the good news. It's seating arrangement time. Once he's done picking his chair, he starts praying to every gacha gods to bring him the SSR card of being seated next to Anna. Unfortunately, his prayers were answered by throwing the pervert in front of him. Thankfully, it's not a monkey's paw bargain because Hara's next to him. But there's still a problem, because Anna's built like LeBron James, she's blocking everyone's view. But she occasionally smiles back at Kyotaro whenever she catches him looking at her. Sho pretends he forgot his book so she can share it with Anna, but he foils his plan because he's trying to steal his game. But still, he can't see the board and accidentally leans on Hara's shoulders. Fortunately, Hara is so kind, she offers to let him copy her notes. Anna sees this and gets mad at him, telling him that it's fine when he's literally doing what Sho was doing earlier. After the class, she's still mad as hell and tells him he must be happy sitting next to Hara. But he explains that during the entire class, he's not seeing anything except for her because she's blocking the view. Once again, his accidental riz gets through her, causing her to do a 180. Later in the library, she apologizes to him, but he tells him not to worry too much about him, especially since she's got something more important to worry about, like her movie role. Anna enthusiastically asks him if he likes films and reveals that she's going to play a character, and she starts practicing her line to him. But some people are looking at them weirdly, so he asks her to practice in a more private room. So Anna brings him somewhere too close for comfort. He learns from her that the movie's going to be released in 2 years' time, which is after their graduation. So she asks him if he's going to see it, and he tells her he will, which gives her motivation to practice her acting skills. That night, Kyotaro watches Anna's show and realizes that she doesn't even have a line or anything particularly interesting, as she's cut out for most scenes. He thinks she's upset that she didn't get to say anything, but the next day, she's just yapping endlessly about her appearance in the show. After their exam period, Kyotaro tutors Chihiro a bit, but Anna gets jealous that he's helping her friend out. With the PT and meetings coming up, Chihiro warns Anna to study hard and asks for Kyotaro's help because he's so good at teaching people. But she also warns him about Anna, because she knows her best friend can be a real ditz all the time. Kyotaro tries to hide his laughs, but Chihiro notices it and starts asking the real questions, like how he talks normally. But he explains he's just being polite, and he often let his guard down sometimes. Later that day, their parents start coming, and he sees that his mom is literally next to the Yamadas, with Anna's Nuf mom next to her. Unfortunately, she's also very strict and comments on Anna's every move. Even his own mom straightens up. After some time, his mom talks to Anna, who really looks like she wants to talk to her. She mentions how she heard so much from him about school, and it seems like he's having a lot of fun, which genuinely makes Anna happy. She admits that she talks to her son quite a lot, and even stutters when talking about their interaction. After the meeting, his mom tells him it's a genuine accomplishment, that he's actively participating in class, and even tells him about her interaction with one of his classmates. When his mom asks for her name, he tells her it's Yamada, startling her, who is following them behind. The next day, she compliments his mom for being kind and adorable, telling him that she even gave her a treat. She then leans closer and asks him what he calls his mother. But things are a little too close for him, so he asks her if she's not going to do her homework. Anna pulls out her notes and asks him if he can teach her, just like what he did for Chihiro. He agrees, but the library teacher comes out again, and he worries they'll get caught with the candy wrapper. So he whispers to her ear, asking her to hide the candy. But he's too close to her, and she falls out of balance. The next day, heavy rain starts pouring, and Kyotaro has no choice but to bike in the rain, because he forgot his raincoat. On the way home, he passes by Anna, who recognizes him. He immediately flips the direction and tells her he has forgotten his raincoat. So Anna uses the plastic bag to protect his head from the rain, but it's no use. So she sits on the back of the bike and offers to use her umbrella to protect both of them from the rain. However, it's too dangerous for them since everything is wet and slippery, so he bikes home. But he realizes that Anna had forgotten the plastic bag's contents in his bike. So he rides toward the station to give her his stuff back before going back home. While browsing her Instagram, however, he suddenly falls asleep and starts fever dreaming. When he wakes up, he realizes he has a fever and has to skip school for the time being. So spends his time alone in their house while watching TV, but someone rings the doorbell and it's Anna, wearing a worried look on her face. So he immediately rushes out of the house and catches up to her. She gives him their school lunch and apologizes for causing him to get sick. She leaves after giving him his food, but he invites her over to have some tea first. He becomes self-conscious, especially since Anna is inside their home, so he tells her he'll have to change his clothes first, leaving the stove on while boiling the water. But when he's about to change his clothes, he suddenly collapses to the ground, and Anna starts to get worried when he forgets the boiling water. So she goes upstairs and finds that he's unconscious and feverish. She tries to help him out by pulling into his bed, even dressing him up so he does not catch a cold. But Kyotaro's already delirious and suddenly falls asleep on the softest calcium cannons known to man. After a few hours, he wakes up and the first thing he sees is his sister, who gives him a note that Anna left a few hours ago. The next day, his mom tells him she saw Anna last night and noticed that she had a very worried look on her. Apparently, she was asking about his condition and was glad to hear that he'll be back to school soon. But she notes that she's sort of a retired and total klutz at that. After his breakfast, he goes back to school and surprise, it's Anna, who's greeting him first thing in the morning. Turns out, she also catches a cold and her voice sounds like a raspy cougar hunting for teenagers. He tells her that everything was sort of a dream yesterday, but when she's about to ask him what kind of dream, the midget appears, interrupting their talk. Later that day, Anna asks him if he uses line, and he tells her he does, but only a bit because he's different. So she shows him the different stickers in line and tells him she can send one of them to him. But he declines, so she tells him about how their class doesn't have a group while the other has one. However, he's not picking up what she's trying to tell him, so she just smashes her head against the table because Kyotaro's incredibly dense. A couple of days before Christmas, Mocha starts saying that she needs a boyfriend before Christmas and she can't have one if she doesn't get everyone's numbers. Anna tells her it's a good idea and immediately goes for Kyotaro's number. But Mocha overtakes her because she's too slow and manages to get his number in one go. She even recognizes his profile pic, who is that same woman no one even remembers. With Mocha's taking the lead, Anna backs off and gives him the should be at Incident Yuji stare. Mocha tells her she should instead get someone else's number, like Ishinmuro, who is their class's ace and one of the smartest fellas. Anna tells her that he and Ishinmuro live in the same apartment building, telling them that they're close and their parents are friends, all to spite Kyotaro. And so his delusional thoughts think they're doing something he's not aware of. Mocha pushes Anna to ask for Ishinmuro's line ID, so when Anna asks Ishinmuro, he realizes that she was asking him about his number earlier, and he didn't realize it sooner. So he stands up, interrupting them and stopping Anna from getting that guy's number. But now he has solid ground that Anna was indeed asking for his number, so he tells himself that he's definitely going to get her number soon. Later that night, while reading the manga Anna lent him, notices the main characters of the series perfectly describe him. But his remaining brain cells are struggling to realize that, thinking that guys like him don't exist in real life. But when he analyzes the manga, he realizes their interaction together with Anna now makes sense. The next day, he sees the same guy hitting on Anna again, this time bringing in a backup girl with him. Chihiro catches up to his ulterior motives, but when he invites her over, all the logic and goes out of the window. Anna knows what that jock is up to, so she tells Chihiro she's not going to come with her. Everyone knows what that guy is up to, except Chihiro. So when Anna tries to tell her the reason, she thinks she's bad-mouthing Nanjo, and it's unlike Anna to act like this. When Kyotaro goes to the library, he sees Anna crying, who then cheers up upon seeing him. She then asks him if he plays video games, but he remembers all the cringe stuff he's been saying like he's an elite gamer. Anna tells him that her father is a gamer and they have all kinds of gaming consoles, but some girls interrupt their talk, trying to snuff out the truth about her relationship. But Anna keeps denying it, telling them that she doesn't have a boyfriend, and even asks for Kyotaro's opinion because he knows the truth about her. When the girl realizes they're overstepping, they leave the room, and he tells her that she shouldn't hang around him when there are people around. But Nanjo appears once again to disrupt things, so Anna stares at Kyotaro intently, making sure that the guy knows she's already taken. But when the guy leaves, she immediately apologizes to him for what she did. While walking, he overhears Moko reprimanding Chihiro about the Nanjo guy and telling her that he's clearly using her to lure Anna. So later that night, he thinks that Anna might be using him the same way the creepy dude is using Chihiro. All the genuine interactions he had with her in the past might all be just part of her plans to manipulate him. So the next day, he stops treating Anna the way he used to and starts avoiding her for a couple of days. After school, he immediately leaves the classroom, but she follows him, stopping him in his tracks. She confronts him and asks him if he's mad at her or anything, but the edgelord Kyotaro tells her he needs to go. So Anna starts crying her heart out, apologizing for whatever she did to him. But when he turns around, he realizes that Anna is more genuine than any fake Jordans can be. She's always been a kind and uplifting person, and she'll never do him dirty like that unless he likes it. He's just looking for a reason to hate her, which was his problem in the past. So he tells Anna he's not really mad at her, he's just a busy person. Hearing this, she holds him tightly but quickly apologizes for hugging him, knowing that he doesn't want people to get too close to him. But he tells her he never said anything crazy like that.
Yeah, boy.
After making up, they both go home together, and she asks him if he's doing anything during the Christmas break. So he tells her they'll be going back to their home province to visit their relatives. He also gives her manga back after finishing all of it in one go, so she interviews him about the plot. Turns out they like the same thing, so she promises that she'll bring back the next volume. But the next day, she forgets to bring them, so she tells him she'll give the rest of the manga before Christmas, insisting that he should definitely read it because it's peak. Before the day ends, she asks for his line ID, finally getting his contact for tomorrow's date. The next day, Kyotaro dresses up with his stalker drip, arriving too early at their meeting point. He thinks he's too early, but he realizes he's not because his dress-up darling is waiting for him. When he approaches, he makes sure he circles around her so she can recognize him without talking to her. His unspoken riz activates perfectly and Anna recognizes him. Turns out she's also early because she's trying to make sure she's at the right place, which is a lie. After meeting up with her, he asks for the manga, but Anna drags him to a restaurant she wants to check out. Looking at Anna, he realizes how well-dressed she is compared to him, who looks like he's about to stab some Bikomeshi idol. So he takes off the mask and now he looks like someone stole his switch. Anna asks him to hold the bag before bumping into him like an average American footballer. Once inside the cafe, Kotaro's having a problem because everything is so damn expensive. The only thing he orders is $1 coffee, while Anna orders the most expensive meal they offer. After getting their orders, the two start talking, but Kotaro goes overboard when explaining why he owns so many black attires. So he backpedals a bit because since their date started, he's pretty much taking negative social credits, and now he regrets coming to meet Anna. She then gives him her phone so he can take photos of her. When he asks if it's for Instagram, she simply tells him she's going to send it to him. But when he gets so absorbed by her beauty, Anna takes the lead and tells him the real thing is in front of him. Later, they go shopping, and she makes him choose which outfit is better. After taking his pick, he starts imagining what she's packing underneath those clothes. But the no-nut clarity hits, so he tries to leave the store. However, he sees his sister with her friends, telling Anna to shut up because he might get seen. So she asks him if she can say hi to her, but he tells her she can do that in due time. When she sees Kana coming over, she drags him inside the dressing booth and asks him to promise that she'll let her meet his sister. After some rom-com shenanigans, they leave the place and start walking around the streets of Shibuya. Couples are everywhere he looks, which makes him anxious because it's starting to look like they're a real couple as well. But Anna apologizes to him for dragging him to all the places she wants to visit, worrying that it might have bothered him. Seeing this, he opens up to her and tells her that she's not usually the type of person who goes out a lot. More often than not, so what they did together today made him really happy, and he thoroughly enjoyed it. Anna understands what he means, so she gives him a muffler as a present. When they arrive at the town center, they find a really beautiful Christmas lights decoration, marking the good ending of their memorable date. When they arrive at the train station, the pouring passengers almost separate them. But Anna grabs his hand and holds it all the way to their station. But it doesn't end there. As they walk in the moonlit streets of their town, the two hold hands as if they're the only people in the world, slowly taking their time on the way to their home. When they arrive at their split, he greets her with a Happy New Year, but she stops him because there are still a couple of days before the new year and she doesn't want it to end just yet. The next day, they travel back to Akita to visit their grandparents. They usually do this yearly, but this time, he's going to be sleeping next to his sister. Which is a bad thing because he's trying to bag this 10 out of 10 girl, and there's no way he's going to let his sister ruin his chance. He then remembers his promise to her that he'll take pics, so he starts doing some photography. But the lighting is terrible, so he goes outside to actually feel the environment and get some decent pictures. While looking for a good angle, however, he accidentally steps over the edge of a low cliff and falls unconscious. A few hours later, Kana finds him and asks if he can walk. But the thing is, his arm is fractured, so they visit a hospital to get him checked. On the way home, his mom expresses how happy she is, especially since this is the first time he's broken his arm, which means he's actually participating in society again. Later that night, he sends a selfie to Anna with his fractured arm, which causes her to call out of concern. After seeing his sister is asleep, he answers the call, and he sees Anna dressed up like a Twitch streamer. She asks him if he's alright, but he just downplays it, telling her it's just a minor fall. Then she realizes she's wearing something too revealing, causing her to panic a bit. But he tells her he'll be going back to Tokyo tomorrow, since they can't really stay that long after that accident. However, his worst nightmare comes to life when he notices his sister watching their chat. Kana tells him she's cute, she thinks it's Kaide, but he tries to avoid the question because he thinks she might start asking the annoying questions. Surprisingly, Kana didn't do that, and she went back to sleep after that. Then, after some time, Anna calls him again and asks him to have a drink with her while looking at the moon. The next day, he picks up a souvenir for Anna and goes back to Tokyo with his family. On the way home, Kana asks him about Anna and is surprised when she learns that it's the same Anna who left a note in their house, teasing his brother that he might have a chance with her. When they arrive, he quickly leaves the house to give back the books to Anna and give her the souvenir he bought. On the way to their meeting place, he meets Anna and his dog, Wantaro, who looks exactly like the dog keychain he bought. When they arrive at the park, Anna plays with Wantaro, while he sits on the bench, trying to find the right time to give his gift. Soon after, she goes up to him and asks him to give Wantaro a couple of commands. But the dog isn't doing anything, so Anna imitates what he would have done, taking his hand with her slickest move. He then tells her about the muffler and that he's returning it, but Anna says she wants him to keep it. So he finally gives the dog keychain he's been itching to give to her the whole time. Happy Anna noises burst out of her, which tells how grateful she is for his gift. On the way home, she asks him if he wants to meet up with her on New Year's as she's going to pray at the temple. After confirming that he will show up, Anna bids him goodbye. A couple of days later, he goes to the convenience store to buy something. But that same prick Nanjo corners him and drags him to the restaurant with him. He's still bugging him about Anna, asking him what she's up to. He denies having Anna's line number, but he gets caught lacking when her name pops up on his phone. Nanjo tells the other girl to fetch him some sandwich and Muka leaves them so they can have a boys' talk. Once they leave, he tells Kyotaro he won't tell anyone he got Anna's number from him. But he has had enough of this fraud and outright tells him to piss off. Muka arrives later and asks him to walk her home. On the way to her apartment, she tells him to stand proud because he's strong enough to tell that guy to get off their backs. He also admits to her that he did that because he likes Anna, and he's not going to deal with no-ops. The next day, Kyotaro and his family visits the temple together. In 30 minutes, he'll be meeting with Anna, so he plans to make an excuse for it. But his mother recognizes her from a distance and tells both him and Kana that Anna is waiting for someone. Kana asks him if she has a boyfriend because how she looks right now is basically how someone in a relationship will do. She insists that he should go and say hi to her, but he keeps declining, which causes enough commotion for Anna to notice. She walks up to them and greets the family with a Happy New Year, before following them closely, with Kana acting weird around her. When they arrive at the temple, both he and Anna start to pray. But his arm is broken, so Kyotaro pulls in a tiro and prays with one hand. However, Anna tells him that's not he should pray, slithering all over him and sharing in his prayer. After that, she leaves them to look around while Kana congratulates him for pulling the baddest girl in their school by being weird. She then drags him to go back and meet Anna again, to make a second first impression. When they catch up to her, she invites her over to their house, which she quickly accepts. Inside their house, Kana keeps teasing him, but he realizes that Anna is wearing the same dog keychain he bought for her, which is supposed to be a pair with his sister's keychain. So he immediately grabs Anna's waist to hide the dog, so Kana grabs him and asks him if they're already that close. But he keeps denying it, so she brings their yearbook photos, showing Anna what they looked like years ago. Anna's face lights up seeing Kyotaro's bad boy emo look back in 5th grade, sifting through the pages like an excited parent. Kana even shows his photos from middle school and junior high. But when she asks about his summer camp photos, the conversation goes silent. Kana then dips on both of them, wingmaning Kyotaro so he can shoot his shot now that they're alone. Before she leaves, Kana expresses her gratitude towards Anna, especially for being friends with her brother. In response, Anna asks her if she can be her older sister, which Kana immediately agrees with. After their talk, Anna follows him to his room and tells him she's seen all of his photos because both he and Chihiro went to the same school before. One of the photos piques her curiosity, so he asks him if he's still close with these two friends of his. He reveals they're both his friends with whom he went to cram school together. But he didn't pass the school he always wanted to study at, and it genuinely depressed him. It's the reason why he's so antisocial and develops a mild form of psychopathic tendencies. He uses it as a defense mechanism to stay away from people. So, Anna tries to cheer him up, but she immediately notices the magazine she's in. However, Kyotaro tries to grab it before she does, causing them to be in this position. For a few seconds, their heartbeat beats like timpani drums. But Anna apologizes for looking at all his stuff. Before leaving, however, she takes some blackmail material from his yearbook, promising him that she'll soon show him her yearbook photos as well, which is basically an invitation for him to come over. The next day, the MC from the manga he's reading tells him to stop being a chicken and confess to Anna already. Once he arrives at school, Anna jump scares him before following him around, asking him to wear the dog keychain he bought, so they're a matching couple. Behind the school building, Anna ties the keychain in his neck button. And at this moment, after everything that happened, Kyotaro finally has the courage to tell her how he truly feels. He tells her how badly he doesn't want to go to school, avoiding all forms of social interactions. But now, after meeting her, he feels like he can truly enjoy school. Every happy memory he's made with her for the past couple of months changed him for the better, all because of her. But Anna tells him he's chosen to be better, so he should only thank himself for doing so. With this final act, Kyotaro finally leaves the mask behind and embraces the dangers in his heart, which is falling in love with the 6-feet-tall goddess that all of you lonely virgins will never pull in your lifetime. After an eventful winter break, Kyotaro returns to school, where he once again finds himself surrounded by the same fatherless group of girls who are curious about his broken arm. Sighing at his pitiful life, Kyotaro puts up with this bullshit until he's called by Mida. With a look of concern, his teacher sympathizes with Kyotaro, stating that it must really suck for him to injure the arm, which he uses to beat his meat. Kyotaro tries to tell his teacher not to worry as his wife comes over to help him nut, but before he can violate the man, Maeda suggests seeking Anna's help. Caught off guard, Kyotaro denies having any intimate relationship with Anna, which she conveniently overhears. Now upset with Kyotaro's string of lies, Anna gives him a stink eye and walks away. Cursing himself, Kyotaro thinks that he can't believe he fumbled a tall baddie when they had just grown closer over the winters. In that moment, Kyotaro realizes that everything he touches turns to shit, causing him to hunch his shoulders in sadness until Shu arrives and hands him a copy of his notes. After revealing that Anna trusted him to deliver his notes to him, Shu wonders aloud if one day Anna will trust him enough to place her legs on his shoulders. After giving him a murderous look, Kyotaro tries to salvage his friendship with Anna by making an attempt to apologize. He tells Anna that he didn't mean to fumble like that and apologizes for keeping their friendship a secret. Smiling wide, Anna hugs Kyotaro and tells him that she'll reward his honesty by letting him touch her feet. With their issues resolved, Anna and Kyotaro decide to walk back home together. On the way, Kyotaro shows Anna that he completely trusts her with his life and rear end by letting her take care of him. Despite his initial discomfort, Kyotaro allows Anna to be his mommy at school. Some days later, Kyotaro finds Shu and his group of scallywags bring out a jizz magazine where they discover Anna's picture in it. As the boys express their confusion over what she's doing in this cheap copy of Playboy, Kyotaro vouches for Anna's character by firmly stating that Anna is a versatile model that does what she is told by her manager. One of the unfortunate-looking boys then speaks up and tells Kyotaro that he's setting himself up for a lifetime of cuckolding and he might as well purchase the cuck share now before the prices get out of hand. Now feeling embarrassed and out of words, Kyotaro unwillingly bites back his tongue. With the conversation still playing in his head, Kyotaro wonders if he should confront Anna about her work as they walk home. Before he can do so, Anna drags him to the convenience store where she shows Kyotaro her pictures featured in the Jizz magazine. However, when Anna doesn't get a good response, she tries to dismiss the subject, prompting Kyotaro to assure her that she looks great and he will likely leave the magazine sticky once he's done staring at her pictures. Feeling relieved and satisfied, Anna rewards Kyotaro by buying the magazine for him and tells him to jizz away into the night. Next day, during cooking class, Anna comes over to Kyotaro and Hara's table and questions Hara what her fat ass is up to. Hara then shyly reveals that during winter break, she planned to do some squats on Kanazaki's face, but then saw his sideburns and got a massive ick. With her ladyhood gone, she was unable to fulfill her plans. Empathizing with her situation, Anna expresses her condolences. Later on, Kanazaki comes over and asks Hara if she has eaten. Hara reveals that she's on a diet, which upsets Kanazaki, who states that he has a sickness for her thickness and doesn't want her to change. Huffing over at his comment, Hara gobbles the dessert and tells Kanazaki that if he doesn't want her to slim down, then he should never grow his sideburns again. The following day, Anna arrives at school, looking frantic and tells her friends how she can't find her dog keychain. A few hours later, Kyotaro finds Hara and Kanazaki searching for the missing keychain when Hara informs Kyotaro how Anna has been distressed over the object. Hearing how Anna is in pain, Kyotaro transforms into a simp in shining armor and begins searching high and low for the keychain. During his search, Kyotaro comes across a crying Anna, who says that she can't find the keychain anywhere. Luckily, the god of plot does the young couple a favor as Kyotaro locates the keychain dangling by a tree branch. Realizing that Kyotaro is freezing, Anna invites him over to her apartment. Seeing how no one is at home, Kyotaro wonders about her parents, and the girl reveals that they're hustlers by nature, so they're out chasing the bag. Learning they are completely alone, Kyotaro wonders if today will be the day when Anna will finally conquer the South Pole. However, this also causes young Kyotaro to freak out as he doesn't want Anna to find out that he was lying about inches from his height going someplace else. Despite his worries, Kyotaro enters into Anna's bathroom to freshen up, where he starts imagining Anna in her birthday suit. Not wanting to blow his own trumpet, or whatever that means, Kyotaro steps out of the shower and realizes that Anna has left him some fresh clothes. However, when he notices his underpants is missing, Kyotaro decides to go full commando. As he nervously steps into the lawn, he's attacked by Anna's dog, who tries to pull down his pants. With Anna standing in front of him, Kyotaro fights hard to protect his dignity. Luckily, Anna helps him by telling her dog to go play with another bone, as this one belongs to her. After that, Anna invites Kyotaro to dine with her, but the boy reveals that he's reserving his appetite for her cake. Accepting Kyotaro's decision, Anna then reveals her yearbook. This excites Kyotaro. As for him, this means he's one step closer to filling Anna like an application. After being acquainted with young Anna, Kyotaro notices a piano and questions her about it. Taking a momentary pause, Anna reveals that she had the opportunity to try out a lot of activities like swimming, kendo, ballet, but she would always end up quitting, as the only thing she was ever good at was spreading her legs. In order to get that cat raw, Kyotaro lets Anna vent as she tells him how she's scared of disappointing everyone around her. Noticing Anna's pain, Kyotaro quickly embraces her in a hug. He then proceeds to assure Anna that he will never hate her, causing Anna to sob harder than before. After calming down, Anna scrolls through her notifications and realizes that her mother is about to return from work. This causes them to panic, as Anna has never invited a boy over. Not wanting her parents to know that she's getting filled like glazed-up donuts, Anna quickly shoves Kyotaro in her room. Once alone, Kyotaro observes Anna's room and wonders if he should unleash his trouser snake on Anna's innocent plushies. However, before he can fulfill his deranged fantasies, Anna enters the room and hovers on top of Kyotaro. She tells Kyotaro that it's time to show those extra inches. However, before they can get down and dirty, Kyotaro decides to go home that night, since Donut November has begun. Once the coast is clear, Kyotaro exits out of the apartment, only to stumble across a titan. Fear grips the boy as he wonders if he's going to get gobbled up by Eren Yeager here. After gawking at the hulk of a man for a good second, Kyotaro bolts out of the door. The next day, Kyotaro thinks about the events that transpired between him and Anna, when he gets visited by his inner conscious. The 6-feet aura Chad tries to convince Kyotaro that Anna is trying to invite him to her secret chambers, but Kyotaro rejects that and says Anna only sees him as a friend. With a look of disgust, Chad Kyotaro tells loser Kyotaro that if he keeps this shit up, they are never ever going to get laid. Sighing in self-disappointment, Kyotaro heads to school and tries to avoid Anna, who quickly notices that Kyotaro is acting like a typical F-boy, who ejaculates and evacuates, which makes her wonder if he is embarrassed of her. Since she doesn't have standards, Anna texts Kyotaro that it's okay to hide their relationship from the public's eye. Despite wanting to run to Anna and waterboard her huge lady nuts, Kyotaro refrains from doing so until his conviction finally wavers. Now sitting with Anna, Kyotaro reveals how his voice is changing. This excites Anna, who tells Kyotaro that once the puberty truck hits him hard, he can finally be the Chad of his dreams. After saying that, Anna strokes his arm and tells Kyotaro that when his voice is deep enough, she wants him to wear a maid outfit and meow like a kitten for her. With Valentine's Day around the corner, Moko tells Anna that she can help her make some chocolates for the occasion. Excited by the idea, Anna tells Kyotaro to join them, since a twink like him could use some cooking classes. However, when he arrives in front of her building and finds Anna's friends, he wonders if he was really invited. Feeling emo and worthless, Kyotaro walks away and tortures himself by wondering if Anna really did invite him or not. Luckily, Moko arrives in time and drags Kyotaro with her. But before entering Anna's apartment, Moko warns Kyotaro that Anna's mother hates unshowered emos who jam to Nirvana. As they arrive, Anna's mother looks at Kyotaro in disgust and wonders why a pipsqueak like him is in her daughter's life. Before Kyotaro can fumble at all, Moko introduces Kyotaro as her bi, prompting Anna's mother to breathe in relief. Of course, Anna, on the other hand, internally burns with anger as she sees Moko getting closer to her boy toy. Once Anna leaves the room to blow some steam, Moko asks the girls and the twink what Anna likes as a snack. Before Kyotaro can say his baby yogurt, Chihiro beats him and reveals that Anna likes her. Hearing Chihiro add nothing of worth, Moko decides to ignore her existence, as a murder charge would be too much. However, Chihiro decides to continue by telling everyone how Anna fancied her from the start. Once again, Moko reminds herself that she can't go to jail as she's too straight to be somebody's prison wife. Meanwhile, being the designated dishwasher, Kyotaro proceeds to quietly clean the dishes when Anna towers over him and asks if he's having fun with his new ba. Kyotaro tells Anna to chill out, which obviously makes her more mad, prompting him to scurry in the bathroom. Inside, he's visited by Alpha Kyotaro, who tells his loser ass that if by some dumb luck he manages to date a baddie like Anna, then he would need her parents' blessing, who only know him as Moko's ba. Sighing, Kyotaro comes to the realization that banging a woman isn't as easy as they make it look on Netflix. After gaining some courage, Kyotaro decides to tell Anna's mother the whole truth, and with that, he bolts out the door. Now sitting outside Anna's apartment, Kyotaro tries to soothe his beating heart by assuring himself that he made the right decision. Suddenly, the door flings open and Anna's mother tells Kyotaro that she has met his mother and even knows how her daughter has his balls in her purse. After sorting things out with San, Kyotaro walks back in. However, this time he finds a giant and realizes the man is none other than Anna's dad. Fearful of her dad whooping his skinny butt, Kyotaro tries to avoid him, but Yuki invites him to play some Fortnite. Sweating profusely, Kyotaro wonders if this is the end when San arrives and assures him that Yuki just wants to be friends with him. Once San leaves, Moko comes to check up on Kyotaro, only to develop a massive crush on her friend's dad. Seeing Yuki without the e-boy hairstyle, Moko realizes that it's time to become a homewrecker. Once it's time to go home, Kyotaro decides to walk with Serena and Moko, who wonders if Kyotaro did the dirty tango with Anna when he was at Anna's apartment last time. Kyotaro quickly yells that he still has his cherry intact, causing the girls to walk away in disgust. After reaching home, Kyotaro's sister rejoices as she learns that her baby brother finally has game and now hangs out with hot chicks. She assures Kyotaro that it won't be long before he's declared the harem king. Ignoring her sister, Kyotaro goes inside his room and learns from Anna that her entire family likes him, as they think of him as her gay best friend. Feeling frustrated, Kyotaro vents out to Kana, stating how he wants to raise Anna and make her his. With the arrival of Valentine's Day, Anna strolls around the hallway of her school and gets approached by two girls that want to scissor with her. After rejecting those fugos, Anna greets Chihiro and walks past Kyotaro, who stands there like an extra in her eventful life. After classes, Anna plays some half-witted game with Kyotaro and allows him to win. With that, she gives him all the chocolates that she got from her Sims. Stunned by her behavior, Kyotaro wonders if Anna giving away her snacks means that he can enter her back gate. Suddenly, Kyotaro gets dragged by Anna, who tells him to observe Hara exchanging chocolates with Kanazaki. Seeing the two lovebirds, Anna mutters how she's jealous, which confuses Kyotaro, who tells Anna that since Hara and Kanazaki are sort of dating, this is nothing new for them. As Kyotaro fails to understand the complex heart of a woman yet again, Anna sighs and tells him to just drop her home. While sitting with him on his bike, Anna tells Kyotaro that she's truly happy right now. So not wanting this moment to end, Anna requests Kyotaro to take her to the snack shop. However, when the two find the shop covered in Valentine's decoration, they begin to blush uncontrollably. After realizing how cringe they're behaving, Anna makes a move on Kyotaro by edging closer to his lips. Just when Kyotaro thinks he's about to be a very lucky man, Anna bounces back, telling Kyotaro that she's heading towards her crib now. Starstruck for a moment, Kyotaro chases after Anna and gives her chocolates. With that, Kyotaro bolts back home and torments himself by wondering if he made the right move. Turns out he did, because the following night, Kyotaro gets visited by Anna, who begins to yap uncontrollably. Confused by her gibberish, Kyotaro asks her why she sounds like a profound apologist. Upon realizing she sounds like a schizophrenic, Anna calms down and gives Kyotaro her handmade chocolate. She tries to say something meaningful, but ends up messing up and starts to cry, prompting Kyotaro to hug her. Returning home, Kyotaro starts to realize that perhaps Anna feels the same way as him. The following day at school, the boys talk about what they should do for White Day, when one of the side characters try to dismiss the occasion by saying that they still got time for that. But since Kyotaro wants to woo Anna, he sternly tells the lads that White Day is just a month away. Agreeing with Kyotaro, Xiao states that since Moko gave him chocolates, he must return the favor. Unbeknownst to him, Moko just sees him as a piggy bank, so she loudly announces that she wants some expensive AirPods. However, since Shu is a dumbass that can't read the signals, he decides to give Moko a handmade lingerie. Kyotaro calls Shu out on his bullshit and says he must get a proper gift for her lady. Once Xiao realizes that someone gave Kyotaro her chocolates, he wonders why anyone would invest their time on a boy like Kyotaro, that obviously picked his personality from Tumblr or Wattpad. Wanting to know more about Kyotaro's reason, Shu decides to walk home with him. During their conversation, Kyotaro asks him why he's so concerned about getting a gift for Moko, since he obviously doesn't like her. Being a douche with principles, Shu honestly reveals that he is into girls that like him. This way, he can manipulate them into doing the naughty with him. The boys then come across Nanjo, who is a creep like always. He advises Sho to just get a vibrating cucumber for his girl and call it a day. Hearing such atrocities come out of Nanjo's mouth, Kyotaro asks him if he thinks from his ass, since he's filled with shitty ideas. Noticing the hostile interaction between the boys, Shu decides to take off. Just then, Anna waves at Kyotaro from the window. Nanjo is about to greet Anna when Kyotaro cockblocks him and shows the douche that he's the one who is going to end up with the tall baddie. As they walk home together, Anna ruffles through her back and reveals a bunch of trash just lying inside her bag. Seeing the side of Anna's bag, Kyotaro realizes that his baddie is a certified freak. Just then, Anna reveals a movie ticket and tells Kyotaro how she plans on going to the cinema. Unsure what to say, Kyotaro just nods. The two continue walking when Anna forcefully makes him wear her sweater. After complimenting him, Anna digs through the pocket and unveils an extra ticket. Without thinking, she hands it to Kyotaro. But since Kyotaro is like a man with a fork in a world of soup, he fails to understand what Anna is hinting at. Luckily, Chad Kyotaro knocks some sense into him, prompting Kyotaro to ask Anna if she wants to watch the movie with him. Smiling big, Anna says yes, which brings us to the present. The young couple walk towards the theater when Anna decides to buy some snacks. To their surprise, the person selling the snacks is none other than Kana. Upon seeing her little bro with Anna, Kana apologizes to him and says she wasn't familiar with his game. Despite being hailed as a Rizzler, Kyotaro tries to tell Kana that he's just watching a movie with a friend. Of course, Kana doesn't believe her brother, so she tells Anna and Kyotaro to sit in the back row so they can have Netflix and chill Pro Max. Wanting to clear the air, Anna states that she'll stay to dine, causing Kyotaro to mentally facepalm. As Kana serves them with a menu, she tells Kyotaro that she won't let him one-up her and will soon find herself an Arabian prince with multiple oil reserves. Kyotaro finally gets annoyed and tells Kana that if she doesn't stop cock-blocking him, then he will make sure she doesn't get enough screen time. Huffing in annoyance, Kana walks away. However, once she's gone, Kyotaro expresses his admiration for having a hard-working sister. Wanting to hear similar words for herself, Anna tells Kyotaro to come see her at work too. This surprises Kyotaro, who wonders if he will have to see Anna get blacked by 5 guys. Feeling scared, he tells Anna that he and his cuck chair will just be in the way, but Anna assures him that the shoot will be PG-13. Breathing a sigh of relief, Kyotaro tells Anna that he will be there, causing her to cheer in excitement. After filling their tummies, the two thank Kana for her services and leave for the theater. While sitting together, Kyotaro tells Anna that he checked out the details of the movie she was going to get featured in. Sensing Kyotaro's care, Anna smiles and tells him that she will be going to Hiroshima to film the movie. Upon hearing that, Kyotaro nervously thinks about how Hiroshima is about to get hit with another bomb very soon. Before the movie starts, Kyotaro hears Anna talk excitedly about how she's eager to become a movie star. This makes him think how a couple of years back, he watched a movie just because Anna was featured as a side character. At that moment, a strange realization dawns upon Kyotaro as he finds himself wanting to know more and more about Anna. The next day, Kyotaro goes to Anna's workplace, but upon seeing her all dolled up, he thanks the Lord for making Anna have low standards, because why else would a baddie like her hang out with an edgy meme lord like him? However, this also makes him see just how different they are. Now feeling insecure, Kyotaro runs away from the scene, prompting Anna to chase after him. Reaching a secluded place, Anna quickly realizes what's bothering him, so in hopes of assuring him, Anna tells Kyotaro that it was because of him that she wanted to push herself and work harder than before. As Kyotaro hears Anna's confession, he thinks about how if she was an ordinary girl, he would never feel so strongly for her. With that thought in mind, he drags Anna back to work, where they're greeted by Anna's manager, who tries to raise Kyotaro, but Anna stops him, stating that Kyotaro's ass solely belongs to her. After the photo shoot, Kyotaro tells Anna that while she was working, he secretly took a photo of her. With a happy smile, Anna tells Kyotaro that she will continue working hard. Not having anything cool to add to the show, Maeda tells Kyotaro that he must give the farewell speech. He also warns Kyotaro not to unleash his emo-ness on his peers on graduation day, because prison isn't kind to twinks like him. At first, Kyotaro tries to deny it, but the girls urge him to perform the speech, stating that he has the second best grades in the class. Of course, like always, Moko interjects and says that Kyotaro is nothing special since she too got second highest grades. Hearing this, Kyotaro kindly reminds Moko that she scored second from the bottom. With his screen time almost up, Mate urges Kyotaro to take on the role. However, unsure about what he should do, Kyotaro turns to look at Anna, who gives him an encouraging smile. Sighing, Kyotaro tells Maida that he will act as a substitute until rehearsals. The following day, Kyotaro heads to the stage to give the speech, but seeing the entire student body, he freaks out and fumbles his speech big time. Meanwhile, as Anna hears Kyotaro whisper out the speech, trembling for dear life, she thinks how Kyotaro would sound good locked in her basement. Once the rehearsals are wrapped up, Anna drags Kyotaro to the supplies room, where instead of molesting him, she tells Kyotaro that they are going to practice for the speech. After helping Kyotaro speak with his chest out, Anna complains about how he never told her he placed second in class. Wanting to further impress Anna, Kyotaro states that to him, grades are just a number. With a nerdy reason full effect, Anna tells Kyotaro that she wants to see him shine when suddenly they hear someone approaching the supplies room. Hiding quickly, Kyotaro and Anna overhear a girl confessing her feelings to Nanjo, who turns her down by saying he's only into women that can stop him to the point of oblivion. Hearing this, the girl quickly realizes that Nanjo is talking about Anna, and once he confirms her suspicions, the girl runs away after telling Nanjo to enjoy getting his balls busted. In the meantime, Kyotaro wonders if Anna would pick him over Nanjo, who mews daily and isn't a wanker like him. This thought prompts him to man up, and he finally tells Anna that he will perform the farewell speech for her. However, after arriving home, Kyotaro's conviction wavers and he finds himself having post-nut clarity without having a nut. Yet despite his apprehensions, Kyotaro decides to go through with his decision, so he asks his mother to watch him as he practices. He also asks her to give him some money so he can get a fancy hairstyle for the farewell. After getting a haircut, Kyotaro realizes that he looks quite the Rizzler. However, when he wakes up the next day, Kyotaro wonders why his hair looks worse than before. Arriving at school, the girls gather around him and decide to help Kyotaro overcome this fashion fiasco. After borrowing some gel from Shu, the girls try different hairstyles on Kyotaro until Anna tells them to back away from her man. Adhering to the queen's orders, the girls retreat and it's finally just Anna and Kyotaro once again. During the intimate moment, Anna tells Kyotaro that they might get different sections in the next semester. That means he won't be able to reeze her up during lunchtime. Hearing this, Kyotaro assures her to stay positive. Suddenly, Maida arrives and tells them that it's time to get the farewell party started. As Kyotaro confidently steps out of the class, ready to give the speech, he realizes he brought the wrong script. Panicking, he calls Kana to bring the script as soon as possible. But since Kana is no Clark Kent, she takes her time arriving at Kyotaro's school. Left with no options, Kyotaro decides to prove himself that he is no longer an edgelord in the shadows and steps on the stage to do the farewell address without any script. After a heartfelt speech, Kyotaro ends up fainting from all the nervousness. Upon regaining his consciousness, Kyotaro finds Anna waiting for him in the infirmary. Seeing her, Kyotaro tells Anna that it would have been nice to have a chill system instead of a nervous system. Unfortunately, their conversation is cut short by Nanjo's arrival, who tells Anna that he wants to talk to her in private. Once Anna follows Nanjo, the boy admits to having feelings for her. However, he's instantly shot down as Anna reveals she has feelings for someone else. Knowing that it's Kyotaro, Nanjo turns away by telling Anna that she has just doomed her entire future generation by picking a pipsqueak over a Chad like him. In the meantime, Kyotaro hears everything and realizes that Anna likes him. At school, Kyotaro avoids Anna like she has a deadly STD. He thinks about how even though he knows Anna wants to have his babies, he must be careful around her more than ever. He's quickly pulled back to earth when Chihiro asks Anna if she will be going karaoke with the basketball team. When Anna confirms, Kyotaro becomes nervous as he doesn't want his childhood sweetheart to be in a naked 5v1. Without thinking further, he decides to creepily follow Anna and the rest to a karaoke bar until he's discovered by the basketball team. Ashamed by his behavior, Kyotaro hides in the next karaoke room when Anna arrives to give him company. She asks Kyotaro why he's here, and the boy admits that he didn't want her hanging out with the boys. Satisfied with the response, Anna drags Kyotaro to the party where he is forced to sing. Of course, after the karaoke party, Kyotaro is told not to quit his day job for his singing career. Later at school, Hora approaches Anna and Kyotaro and invites them to a friend's day out with Kanazaki. Surprised by the sudden invitation, Anna asks why they're being invited, so Horo reveals that Kanazaki is in a mood for a freaky foursome. So the following day, Kyotaro takes the bus and realizes that Hara has taken the same vehicle. As they ride together, Hara tells Kyotaro that they can shop together for White Day. Agreeing to the idea, Kyotaro wonders if he should just give Anna a donut filled with his white sauce. This way he can give Anna something handmade, quite literally. Thankfully, Hara interrupts his atrocious way of thinking and shows Kyotaro a hat, stating that he can buy one for Anna. Suddenly, out of nowhere, Anna appears looking all pissed. Seeing her upset, Kyotaro realizes that Anna has misinterpreted the situation, and there's no saving his balls now. After a while, the group sits in a restaurant to eat when Kanazaki reveals that he invited Anna, so Hara could eat to her heart's desire. However, when Kanazaki sees Hara hesitating, he tries to push her to eat, causing Kyotaro to intervene. He tells Kanazaki that perhaps Hara wants to change for the better, and he shouldn't push her into accepting what she doesn't like about herself. Realizing Kyotaro is right, Kanazaki apologizes to Hara, but tells her that he just wants her to know that he likes her in every shape. With that, Kanazaki reveals his White Day gift for Hara, which happens to be a cutlery set. Later on, Kanazaki admits to Kyotaro that Anna helped him pick the gift. Hearing this, Kyotaro tells Kanazaki that if he ever breathes the same air as Anna again, he will sell him to Shine, where he'll spend his life working as a low-wage laborer. As Kanazaki realizes Kyotaro's feelings for Anna, he tells him that the two would be a good match. Blushing at the comment, Kyotaro tells Kanazaki to ask out Hara, who then reveals in a frustrated tone that he has asked her out a lot of times, but Hara just doesn't take him seriously. Suddenly, Hara grabs Kanazaki and nudges Kyotaro to spend time with Anna. Taking the hint, Kyotaro finally mans up and gives Anna a cupcake and a bracelet for the White Day. On Monday, Kyotaro is greeted by Sho, who is planning on gifting Moko some cookies. However, when he asks Shao if he has feelings for Moko, Shu downplays by telling him that he's only gifting Moko cookies because she gave him chocolates. Sighing at Shu's hard-headedness, Kyotaro asks him how he plans on giving the cookies to Moko. The boy then proudly reveals that he's casually going to toss the box of cookies inside Moko's locker, and then he can tell Moko how the cookies were from him. Having absolute faith that Moko would totally drop her panties for him after this, Shu follows his plan, but unfortunately, the cookies end up falling out of Moko's locker. With Shu gone, Kyotaro picks up the cookie box and tries to put them back in place when Anna and Moko catch him putting the cookies in Anna's locker. As the girls gawk at him in surprise, Kyotaro tries to explain the situation, but thankfully, Shu's mother arrives and makes him properly tell Moko how the cookies were for her. Later on, Maeda informs the students that they are soon going to get promoted to higher classes. Not wanting Maeda to break her friend's circle, Chihiro pretends to fight with her friends, so Maeda is led to believe that they were never friends, and hence doesn't put them in separate classes. After school, Anna calls Kyotaro to play some basketball with her. However, during the match, Kyotaro ends up playing with her balls instead of the basketball. In the end, Anna wins the round, and as a reward, she asks Kyotaro if she can start calling him by his nickname. Unfortunately, before he can answer Anna, Maeda arrives and tells them to go home. Later that day, Kyotaro imagines Anna whispering his nickname during happy hour. Just then, a Chad with wings enters his room. Seeing his rock-hard abs, Kyotaro wonders who this person is. So the man introduces himself as Kyotaro's libido, revealing that it's because of him his tiny Johnson grows into a big boy. During his edge session, Kyotaro gets a text from Anna, so he goes to meet her. As they walk home, Kyotaro's father sneaks up on him and scares the bejesus out of him. After apologizing, the old man tells Anna that their family is celebrating Kyotaro's birthday. This upsets Anna, who wasn't aware of his birthday. Knowing Anna would just eat his entire birthday cake, Kyotaro reluctantly invites the glutton to his house. After the eventful birthday party, Kana urges Anna to stay over. This gets Kyotaro excited as his horny teenage mind begins cooking up atrocious scenarios. Wanting to calm his beating heart, Kyotaro reasons with his PP that he can't possibly bang Anna at his place. With the same mind, he goes to get a glass of water when he finds Anna awake. Upon noticing him, Anna beckons Kyotaro to come sit with her. She reveals that she is about to film a movie where she has to play a rebellious teen girl. The problem is, she never rebelled against her parents. Hearing this, Kyotaro tells Anna to take inspiration from him. This comes as a surprise to Anna, as she asks Kyotaro why he would rebel against his parents when they are so nice to him. Sighing, Kyotaro reveals that he's not mad at them, but at himself for being such a disgrace. As Anna learns about the silent battles Kyotaro fights on a daily basis, she embraces him in a reassuring hug. After staying in that position for a while, the two spend the night talking to each other until Anna drifts off to sleep. The following morning, Kyotaro enters the bathroom and finds Anna deep-throating the toothbrush and realizes why the boys call Anna the throat goat. Once Anna notices Kyotaro's presence, she asks him if it would be okay to call him by his first name. Blushing deeply, Kyotaro reaches the conclusion that even if his entire family gets slaughtered, he would still be the happiest man on earth. After cleaning herself up, Anna bids Kyotaro goodbye as she sets for Hiroshima to film her movie. In the meantime, Kyotaro hangs out with the lads who just gossip about which girl has the biggest giant in their class. Suddenly, the girls pop out of nowhere, causing the boys to groan in unison. Shu tells Moko and the rest to stop bothering them as they are trying to work on the revival of the Roman Empire. Hearing this, Moko scoffs and asks the group if they heard about the hot new idol getting caught in her boyfriend's place. This piques Kyotaro's interest as he thinks about how Anna slept at his place and they're not even dating. He wonders if the word got out. Will Anna's reputation get tarnished like the idol? Meanwhile, in Hiroshima, Anna begins to receive dry texts from Kyotaro. Turns out, Kyotaro comes to the conclusion that he should maintain distance from Anna, as his relationship with her can damage her popularity. Later that day, with nothing better to do, Kyotaro scrolls Anna's Instagram when he notices that a user by the name of Pigman has dissected Anna's pictures and is telling everyone that she's seeing someone. A shiver runs down Kyotaro's spine as he wonders if the user is none other than Joe Goldberg. Feeling frustrated, Kyotaro leaves an angry comment on Pigman's Instagram, which ends up getting him blocked. This further frustrates Kyotaro, as he wonders why this man is so unbothered. Back at Hiroshima, Anna receives compliments on her acting from a veteran actor, which makes her happy. Right off work, she calls Kyotaro and informs him all about her day. Since her role is about an angsty teen, Anna tells Kyotaro that she gave her best in the scenes because she harnessed his pain and feelings. Hearing Anna thank him for the sleepover, Kyotaro breathes a sigh of relief as all his worries disintegrate into nothingness. Later on, Kanna asks Kyotaro if she can post a picture of them on her social media. This instantly gets him riled up and he snatches Kanna's phone. After deleting the picture, Kyotaro opens Pigman's account and realizes his admiration for Anna has turned into hatred. Feeling slightly nervous, Kyotaro calls Anna the next day when suddenly Anna's phone disconnects. After calling her multiple times, Kyotaro tries to console himself by thinking that Anna is probably fine in Hiroshima. Once his anxiety gets out of hand, Kyotaro arrives at Anna's apartment, where he learns from Yuki that Anna's phone just fell in the river. After hearing Anna's voice, Kyotaro admits to Yuki that he's in love with his daughter. Similarly, Anna confesses to her mother that she likes Kyotaro. In his own autistic way, Yuki gives his blessing by telling Kyotaro his gamer name. After a couple of days, Anna tells Kyotaro that she's coming back home. Feeling happy, Kyotaro decides to check Pigman's account just out of curiosity. To his dismay, he learns that the stalker has traced Anna's location. Gripped with fear, Kyotaro rushes to meet Anna. Arriving at the designated place, Kyotaro finds Anna with a white-haired girl who he recognizes as Anna's colleague. Sighing in relief, Kyotaro asks Anna and Nico if he can join them for the day. As the trio sits down for some ramen, Kyotaro notices Nico saying something that Pigman wrote in his post. With his spidey senses tingling, he calls Nico by her username, causing her to freeze. As the two get to talking, Kyotaro learns that Nico just admires Anna, so he lets her off the hook easily by warning her not to post Anna's private information. Returning to school for a new semester, Kyotaro is greeted by Moko, who happily tells him that he's in the same class as her. Despite wanting to commit war crimes at that moment, Kyotaro refrains from doing so and texts Anna, wondering what class she's in. After talking to her and getting to know her class, Kyotaro greets her. Turns out they're in the same class after all. As the two embrace each other, all the love-starved side characters shoot daggers at them, causing Kyotaro and Anna to pull away in a hurry. However, once Kyotaro learns that Anna's entire gang is in the same class as him, he begins to fade into nothingness. After a while, Kyotaro comes to meet Shu, who is crying about not being in the same class as his. He expresses how Kyotaro's class has all the baddies while he's left with the fatties. After explaining his predicament, Shu begs Kyotaro to take pictures of the hotties when they're vulnerable. Sighing, Kyotaro walks away from Shu before the girls can find out he's not a feminist. Once he's in class, Anna hands him a gift when suddenly Moko, Kanna, and Yurine return to the class, causing Anna bad Kyotaro to hide. The girls wonder if Kyotaro and Anna are in a relationship, which further leads to them making plans on how cool it would be if Anna ended up with a doomer boy. Meanwhile, Kyotaro shudders at the thought of everyone finding out that he's dating the school's hottest girl. The next day, Anna and Kyotaro decide to measure each other's height. After doing that, Kyotaro admits that he didn't want to grow up before, but now he wants to be a proper man for her. Hearing such words from Kyotaro, Anna smiles wide, which gives him the confidence of confessing. Unfortunately, Yurine pops out of nowhere and catches them together. As the room now fills with an awkward silence, Yurine walks away like a GTA 5 NPC. Later that day, Kyotaro starts acting weird when he thinks about how Yurine can tell everyone what she saw. This prompts him to pull away from Anna, which upsets her and causes her to leave for home before him. As Kyotaro decides to make his way home, he notices a letter sticking out of Anna's notebook. With a tinge of curiosity gnawing his insides, Kyotaro opens the letter and realizes it's addressed to Yurine. As he continues reading, he learns that Anna has requested Yurine to not bother them, expressing how fragile their friendship is because of his shyness. At that moment, Kyotaro vows to not fumble what he and Anna have built. The next day, Kyotaro overhears Anna and Yurine's conversation. He learns that Yurine has never experienced love, so she was curious about them. Anna, being the sweetheart that she is, assures Yurine that she will tell her all about love. The next morning, their new teacher, Moria, announces that they'll soon be having their last junior high festival in the following week. Having no chill, the boomer tells them all to pull a leg, as she wants to prove to the entire world that she doesn't teach a bunch of wussies. Hearing Moria zealously talk about the event, Kyotaro sighs in disinterest. For him, Sports Fest is the worst thing that has ever happened to humankind after Leagues of Legend. Suddenly, a big burly dude stands in front of Kyotaro, asking him to participate. But before Kyotaro can be pressured into anything, Anna comes to protect him by telling off the burly dude. The boy quickly walks away, stating that he only approached Kyotaro because he thought he had guts. Later that day, Shu meets up with Kyotaro and informs him that he's participating in the Sports Fest in hopes of scoring chicks. With that, he tells Kyotaro that it would be nice to get a girl's used underwear as a reward. Hearing all that bullshit come out of Shu's mouth, Kyotaro tells him to keep his deranged fantasies to himself. Nodding in understanding, Shu then talks about how last year he'd accused him of making Anna trip when he was just trying to save her from an inevitable fall. Kyotaro dismisses Shu by telling him that all is forgotten, but the boy further reveals that Anna was the one who cleared his name and vouched for his innocence. Lost in nostalgia, Shu admits that it was at that moment he fell for Anna. In the meantime, Kyotaro is greeted by Anna, who apologizes for hurting him in last year's sport festival. Just then, Shu finds Kyotaro and Anna talking and realizes something. Feeling betrayed, Shu asks Kyotaro to participate in the cavalry race, which he accepts out of bromance. As the days go by, Kyotaro pushes his body by working out every day until one day, Anna catches him and decides to work out with him. Feeling exhausted, Anna asks Kyotaro if he wants to come to her house for a quickie. Hearing the word quickie, Kyotaro tells Anna that if he ever says no, then she must shoot him right between the eyeballs because the Kyotaro she knows would never say no to a quickie. However, to Kyotaro's greatest displeasure, he finds out by quickie, Anna meant a workout, and not the kind which involves whipped cream. Sighing, Kyotaro begins working out as he wants to beat Sho, who is also in love with Anna. With the arrival of Sports Fest, Anna writes something on Kyoka's forehead and then hides it with his headband. She leaves Kyotaro's side by telling him not to lose his headband. Once the race begins, Shu and Kyotaro go head-to-head, screaming about how much they like Anna. In the end, Kyotaro loses the race but manages to win Anna's heart. Once summer arrives, Moria reveals that they will be having a field trip. While everyone rejoices, Kyotaro notices that Anna doesn't look like her usual self. He tries to ask her, but the girl gives him a reassuring smile. However, since Kyotaro isn't like your uncaring boyfriend, he keeps wondering about what could be bothering Anna. In the end, Kyotaro reaches the conclusion that Anna is upset because she wants to swap saliva with him. After a couple of days, the students arrive at the train station for their trip to Nara and Kyoto. On the bus, Kyotaro is seated with Yurine, who warns him to be careful for the next couple of days. She tells Kyotaro that Kana is planning on catching a couple and outing them in a flashy way. Keeping Yurine's words in mind, Kyotaro makes up his mind to ignore Anna for the whole trip. So when Anna finds herself surrounded by a mob of deers, Kyotaro silently apologizes to her and hauls his ass out of there. Later on, he finds Chihiro, who cryptically tells him how Anna looks different because of the choice she made. Feeling confused than ever, Kyotaro reflects on his own feelings and reaches the decision that he wants to know what's going inside Anna's heart. The following night, Kyotaro gets visited by Chad Kyotaro, who tells him that Anna is miserable because she just wants to be kissed. Suddenly, Kyotaro catches Anna acting out a scene from her favorite book. Recalling previous conversations, Kyotaro realizes that Anna got an audition for a movie featuring her favorite book. However, the reason why she is upset is because she ditched the audition to be on the field trip with him. Realizing how much of a fool he has been, Kyotaro runs to meet Anna. However, when Moria finds the two together, Anna is forced to take Kyotaro back to her room, who now happens to be surrounded by a bunch of teenage girls. Now lying inside Anna's futon, Kyotaro curses the gods who are in charge of his fate. In the meantime, the girls ask Anna what type of guys she's into. After revealing that she likes boys who edge to emo bands and paint their nails black, Anna asks her friends if they have ever been asked out. Once they confirm, Anna bashfully states that she wants to be asked out too. After the lights are switched off, Kyotaro's disgusting mind starts cooking up scenarios that every man thinks about till he reaches his deathbed. Sharing the same feeling as Kyotaro, Anna tries to inch closer to his lips when her friends point out that something is wrong with her blanket. With his wood gone, Kyotaro fears for his life, but luckily, Kanazaki arrives by the window to catch a glimpse of horror, causing the girls to forget all about Anna's blanket. The following day, Kyotaro wonders how he should broach the subject of Anna missing her audition. He wants to tell her that she doesn't need to skip her work for him, but the problem is, how does he convey his feelings to her without sounding like a broken recorder? Finally manning up, Kyotaro finds Anna and tries to talk to her. During the conversation, Anna ends up admitting that she's not having fun because she missed her audition. She expresses her guilt for being so self-centered, but Kyotaro cuts her off, stating that he's stronger than she thinks. Continuing on, Kyotaro tells Anna that he has been alone for a long time, but he overcame the dangers in his heart and slowly befriended Shu, Kanazaki, and Oda. He points to her how he even started getting along with girls, slowly but gradually. With that, Kyotaro finally utters the words that Anna had been waiting to hear. He tells her that he loves the world because she is in it, causing Anna's eyes to water. After urging Anna to go for the audition, Kyotaro hands her some snacks and assures her that everything will be fine. Once Anna leaves for the audition, Kyotaro has a good time on the field trip with his friends. However, as he returns to Tokyo, Kyotaro quickly heads for the library where he finds Anna, who finally tells him that she's as much in love with him as he is in love with her. Do you think Kyotaro looks better with Hora than with Anna? Let us know by commenting Hora's bazookas over Anna's. And if you like anime recaps, then watch this video.